Okay. Yes, I saw the thing about the fibula.
Yes.
That was a great. Let me noodle on that for a couple of days, and that was.
Yeah,
Cool.
our conversation was really intriguing last week, learning about when you were kicking and how you got yourself just from repetition in it. And unconventionally, because of the size of my feet, I have to go downstairs on an angle. So I'm always, my toes are always pointing to 10 o'clock. So then you cross over from one foot to the other foot to go down the stairs. And I've been doing that for 50 years, since I was 11, 12 years old. I'm 65.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I have such problems. I've tried going the opposite way. I can't do it. It's just not natural. So you do what comes naturally and you make that work. So this week I've been trying the fibula float, but I don't know what's working because I'm doing top and bottom bone back, and I'm doing it forward. Then I'm twisting, so I'm doing the top back and the front and the bottom forward. Then I'm doing it the opposite way. So I'm not really sure what's actually working. I am getting relief from something.
Right.
I just because I didn't know which one was working, I was just doing all of those things,
right,
and I was getting relief. I was trying to envision, okay, if I go down the stairs like that over and over again, what actually is happening with that fibula? Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't have the expertise to figure that out. That's why I posed the question.
No, it's great. It's great. This is like fixing, like unplugging the check engine light, or actually looking underneath the hood to figure out what's going on. So this is fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay. We take where your mind is going with this, which is a great direction, and then we take the feedback from what the way you walk, so you have a pattern. So what's happening is, in order for you to go down the steps with your feet at 10 o'clock, that means your right leg, the hip, has to extend forward. Your left leg, your hip, has to extend backwards. It makes your left leg shorter, your right leg longer. Your fibula in your right leg pushes forward because it's reaching, it's going forward. In the left leg, it's going to be pulling backwards. So that's just based on the pattern that you're telling me about.
Yes.
That's just, it's like, that's going to be easier for you. This is not only going to be easier physically for you, it's also going to be easier for you mentally. In order for you to move a certain way, your brain has to fire a certain way. So now you go, okay, I don't want to walk down the steps with my feet at 10 o'clock. I want to take it to 2 o'clock. But your brain is going, I can't quite wrap. It's difficult to wrap it around.
It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's not natural.
It's not comfortable. It's not natural. Emotionally, it's going to feel awkward. Mentally, it's going to be like, I can't wrap my head around it. And physically, your body's going to go, how do I do this?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've tried doing that.
Right.
And I have to hold the rail.
Sure.
From a safety perspective.
Sure.
I have a flight of 13 steps. Mm-hmm. I have to hold the rail if I'm walking down, leading with my left foot. It just doesn't feel natural.
Sure. So, before we get into digging into the pattern, I want to encourage you to walk down the steps leading with that left foot. But I want you to do it slowly, and I want you to do it with Module 2 in the breathing room.
Okay. Yep.
Because what's going to happen is, this is where it's like, if you've ever seen, how old your granddaughter?
4 months.
And it's too young yet.
But I have 5, and the oldest one is almost 5.
Okay, you remember.
I have 4 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. I'm an old guy, though.
Yeah. You remember when they first started grabbing for something, they would go like this.
Yes.
And then they'd miss it.
Yes.
And then they'd try again, and then they'd grab it. And that's how we have to learn. Same way. Slowly. And this is where a lot of people get injured when they first start doing something, is because they're like, I want to grab the pen.
You expect to do that because that's what you always do.
Because we're older. We could do that. You know, I see them do it fast on the television. I see them do it fast other places, so I should be able to do it fast the same way. But in actuality, this is the neurological patterning that we have to get connected with our brain and our body to be able to go down the step with the left foot forward.
Yes. Pointing to 2 o'clock.
Right. Now, this is completely separate from now what we're going to do in terms of loosening up those patterns to make that slow movement integrate easier.
Okay.
Okay. So now, we have the fibula. I'm going to go back to the pen thing. You gave me some insight in the email that you sent. Different light pressures.
Yeah, so I was going both top of the fibula and bottom and back. Then I was going top and bottom forward. Then I was pulling the top back and pushing the bottom forward. Then I was doing the exact opposite of that. I was doing it 6 ways. Then I was pushing down and I was pulling up. I was doing it every possible direction I could.
Okay.
But it sounds like pulling it back is probably from what you just said, pulling the top back and pushing the bottom forward may be a potential solution.
I want you to try this. So this would be for your right fibula.
Yes.
It would be pushing both the top and the bottom forward.
Okay.
And then for the left fibula, pulling the top and the bottom back. That's just like bigger pattern of what's going on. The next piece is I feel good and walk without a limp. Wait a minute. Each morning after doing active.
So I go to the gym and I do active stretches, and then I do PPIs. I'm there about 45 minutes.
Okay.
I walk out of there like there's nothing wrong, like everything is perfect.
Okay.
But then after my day starts, I get right back into the regular pattern of trying to manage things.
Okay.
So I know we can fix it, is I guess where I was going with that.
Okay. Right. However, I want to zero in on where the soreness or where you feeling it. You feel great. Get out of the gym. That's awesome. What I'm looking for is to zero in on the specific bit in your legs, which leg, right leg, left leg, that is...
Okay, so the last 2 days, I've been doing 6A, because I have outer pain on my left knee, right below, almost right where on the outer, right where the knee joint is, I have outer pain there. So I've been doing 6A, finding a comfortable place, light pressure for a minute and a half, and it works fine. Okay, so that works well. My left hamstring is really, really tight. And so I have been doing 20 and 23 with a fold-up mat on my right hip. Okay?
Right hip or left?
We've been doing it on the right hip because we were trying to straighten out the right hip because that was what was bothering me before, and I had a problem with my left SI.
Left SI. Has the left SI resolved?
Yes.
Okay.
So now it's run down into my left hamstring and my outside of my left knee.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Perfect. This is awesome. This is good stuff. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at that pattern of going down the steps.
Okay.
Right hip pushes forward. Left hip comes back. So now that we resolved the SI joint, which was opposite in terms of how we were working with the hips, now what I want you to do is module 26 for the right leg.
Okay.
Module 23 for the left hip.
Okay.
And And you can do that in replacement of module 23 underneath the hips when you get up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. Is that we can make it more effective, because that'll help shift this bigger pattern. So we're addressing the pattern in the hips when you walk down the steps. We're also addressing the pattern in the fibulas when you walk down the steps.
Yeah. It's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. This is what makes my job so interesting. Is it's like cool. It's like this body puzzle that I get to work with you to figure out what is that pattern and how can we get to release it.
I agree. This is funny. I'm in the office and there's a Veterans Day parade going down the main street. I'm right off the main street.
Oh wow. Nice.
Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
But
okay, so that's what I'll focus on now, and I'll start going down the stairs the opposite way slowly, and take it from there.
Yeah, great work. This is so cool.
Well, like I said, I have moments right after I leave the gym where I can walk like a regular person, have no limp, feel really good, and not worry about it, not even think about it.
Yeah.
But then it always reverts back. But we're going to get there because we're getting closer.
And it reverts back because that's what it's familiar with. That's it.
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is getting it to be familiar with something different.
Yes.
And that something different eventually, just like the water dripping eventually wears away the stone, your body is much more pliable and malleable and adaptable excuse me, than a stone.
Right.
So this stuff, and it's a cool part because we're working with the hard wiring, the neurological wiring that created this in your knee, in your body. It could shift like that. We just,
pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So for the next 50 years, I'm going to learn how to go down and lead down the steps with my left foot. That means I'll be 115.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
I appreciate all your help. I'm really enjoying this, but I actually feel like we're making progress, which is great.
Cool.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Daniel. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll talk to you. I'm on for next Friday. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Have a good week.
You
Thanks
too.
a lot.
Bye-bye.